Hey guys, and welcome to a very strange version of Ask an Ecologist. My name is Suzanne Simpson. I'm an ecologist with Bayou Land Conservancy in Houston, Texas. And today I'm coming from a place where I do spend a lot of my time, and that is inside the Subaru. As part of our obligations to monitor properties annually, I do find myself driving quite a bit. Now today I'm not driving to a monitoring visit, but this is where I am during the time of Ask an Ecologist, and I decided to pull over and pre-record an episode that I will post at 3 p.m., which is just in about an hour. So today I wanted to chat with you guys about an annual wildlife event that is gaining in popularity every year, but I wanted to chat a little bit about the history of it. So let's talk about Christmas bird counts. Christmas bird counts first began in 1900 when an ornithologist named Frank Chapman decided to flip the script on what usually happened to birds at Christmas time. So historically, there were bird hunts at Christmas where the aristocracy would compete with each other to try and hunt as many birds as possible. Now, this was a time when sustainable hunting wasn't as much of a thing. So this was less of hunting with a conservation purpose and more just about killing as many animals as you could for bragging rights. So Frank Chapman wanted to change that around, and instead of killing birds, counting birds that you saw around Christmas time. So the first Christmas bird count had about 25 people participating, and that has grown in the past 120 years to thousands of people all over the world. It's still a northern hemisphere event mostly, but people all over the world are counting the different birds in their neighborhoods on Christmas. So it's usually done in an area that has at least a 15-mile diameter, and it is different from a BioBlitz. A BioBlitz is like a one-day extravaganza where you're trying to find as many species as possible, and it's usually across taxa. The Christmas bird count can take place over multiple days, and it goes to multiple locations a lot of times. And one of the stops that we're going to have this year is there's going to be a Spring Creek bird count in North Houston. And the Spring Creek Nature Trail, specifically the Creekside Park West Trailhead, is going to be one of the stops on that bird count. The Creekside Park West Trailhead of the Spring Creek Nature Trail is noted on eBird as a birding hotspot. You can find birds there that you will not see anywhere else in North Houston. It definitely has the first observation of a long-billed curlew, for example. If you don't know what that is, you should go look it up. It's a really goofy-looking shorebird. So this area is going to be counted in the morning of December 18th, which is a Saturday. If you want more details on the Spring Creek Christmas bird count, you can find those on our website on the event page. You can see how to sign up and where to submit your waiver, etc. We're still able to do this in a socially distanced way. Of course, masks are going to be required for any participants, but we want to give a shout out to Joanne Bradbury for leading the Spring Creek Christmas bird count. That'll be starting at Creekside Park West. I believe it's starting at 7:30 a.m. But visit our website at BayouLandConservancy.org to get more information about that particular bird count. If you don't live in the Spring Creek area, no matter where you are, chances are there will be a Christmas bird count within reasonable driving distance of your location. So you can check out places like the Audubon website for Christmas bird counts around your area. I live in the Buffalo Bayou watershed, and there's a Buffalo Bayou Christmas bird count that will be taking place. So just do a little bit of Googling. I can almost guarantee you're going to have a bird count in your area that you can participate in. If you're new to birding, I would absolutely doubly encourage you to make this your first foray into bird counting, because Usually these counts are led by experts, and the best way to learn about a taxa or to get into a new hobby like birding is to be paired with an expert who really knows the calls, knows the winter plumage of a lot of different species, and can help point out identification points that you can use whenever you go birding solo to help you become more familiar with the species that are in your area. So just to wrap that subject up, I expect that we're still going to have a lot of folks counting birds this year. It's one of those activities that's done outdoors, can still be done with proper distancing, and of course we'll want everybody to wear a mask while they're participating in your local bird count, but I encourage you to do so. I also encourage you, again, we talked about this last week, but to consider how you can be environmentally proactive this Christmas season. One way that you can do that is by going to a carbon emissions calculator. There are a lot of different primers that you can find on the interwebs, and calculating what you think your carbon emissions will be this Christmas in terms of the travel that you might be doing. You may be just staying local and traveling a few miles, or you may still be going to a different location altogether. Whatever your situation is, I recommend that you look at that total number for your carbon emissions for your round trip travel and consider donating that number to an environmental nonprofit. The end of the year is a big time for giving, and we're very grateful for everyone who has already given to Bayou Land Conservancy in this difficult year. And this is kind of an easy way to offset what you're doing for the Christmas season and make a really, really meaningful and impactful gift to the environment. So I thank you guys for tuning in. If you have any questions, you can submit them to info@bayouland.org, or you can send us a Facebook message. Next week is going to be our last Ask an Ecologist for the year. So if you have any questions, we would love to answer them. We're going to get into as many as possible. So please submit them. I look forward to talking to you guys next week. See you then.